We had slaughtered 100 white whales, civilization was quite forgotten, our lungs were burned out from smoking shag, but on sighting port we blew out our chests like barrels and began to speak to one another politely, and with the noble goal of drinking we went ashore from the schooner at Amderma. In Amderma we walked like gods, swaggering along with our hands on our hips, and through the port our beards and side whiskers kept their bearings on the pub, and passing girls and shellbacks as well as all the local dogs went along with us as escort, but, clouding the whole planet, a notice hung in the shop: no spirits. We looked at some sparkling wine from the donors if it were feeble fruit juice, and through our agonized yearning we realized it wouldn't work now. Who could have drunk our spirits, our vodka? It's dreadful the way people drink, simply ruinous, but skinny as a skeleton. Peter Markovsky from Odessa, as it always happens with him, suddenly disappeared somewhere giving a secretive SHSHH, and shortly afterward, with much clinking, he turned up with a huge cardboard box, already slightly merry, and it was a sweet clinking the box mad ears. We woke up to the fact, there she is. She's apples. And Markovsky gave us the wink, she's right. We made a splash, waving to everyone, chartered a deluxe room in the hotel and sat down. As we were on the bed, cords flew off the box and there, in the glittering columns of the bottles, bulging, stern, cozy, absolutely hygienic triple distilled eau de cologne stood before us. And Markovsky rose, lifting his glass, pulled down his seaman's jacket, and began, "I'd like to say something." "Then say it." Everyone began to shout, but before anything else they wanted to wet their whistles. Markovsky said, "Come on, let's have a swig. The doctor told me eau de cologne is the best thing to keep the wrinkles away. Let them judge us. We don't give a damn. We used to drink all sorts of wine. When we were in Germany we filled the radiators of our tanks with wine from the Mosel. We don't need consumer goods. We need the wind, the sky. Old mates, listen to Thais and our souls. As though in the safe deposit, we have the sea, our mothers and young brothers. All the rest is rubbish." Bestriding the earth like a giant, Markovsky stood with a glass in his hand that held the foaming seas. The skipper observed, "Everything is ship-shape. And only the bosun sobbed like a child. But my mother is dead," and we all began to burst into tears. Quite easily, quite shamelessly, as if in the midst of our own families, mourning with bitter tears at first for the bosun's mother, and afterwards simply for ourselves. Already a rueful notice hung in the chemist's shop: no triple eau de cologne, but 8 of us Seawolves sobbed over almost all of Russia. And in our sobs we reeked like 8 barbershops. Tears, like squalls, swept away heaps of false values, of puffed-up names, and quietly remaining inside use was only the sea, our mothers and young brothers. Even the mother who was dead, I wept as though I was being set free. I wept as if I was being born anew, a different person from what I'd been, and before God and before myself, like the tears of those drunken whalemen, my soul was pure,